good morning to you all, and welcome to our daily Timothy time. Today's date is Monday, the 21st of September 2020, and my name is Carl Coates from Pure Bible Study here in Trondheim. Today we're going to carry on with the Bible timeline, part 11, and what we're going to do is take off where we left off on Friday. So we'll be reading Genesis chapter 1, 6, 7, and 8. What we're going to do is we'll read that, and then we're going to take what we've read and draw it on the board. And that way, it's a lovely illustration to see what you're reading. That'll really help you. And for those of you that might look at today's drawing and have been with us for the last few days, you might be going, we need a little bit more proof texting. And that is on the ministry plan for this week, is to do a teaching on the deep. I did mention in the comment box that we need to look at some. If anybody wanted to look at it a bit more in depth, just leave a message. And I've had some really positive feedback. So we will be doing a teaching on the deep, whereby we will add a lot more scripture to what we've done so far, to give a full explanation of what's going on in this first bit of Genesis chapter 1. So that's coming. Let's get into today's read. We're going to start in verse 6. It says here, "And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven." And notice that's a capital H. It's a noun. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. We'll stop there today. We'll look at those three verses. Okay, so there was the container, the deep, that frustrated sin. It stopped it in its tracks. We understand it from Scripture that the shape of the container is the same shape as Noah's Ark would have been, the temple, the tabernacle. So we've established that, and we will go into that in more depth with that other video coming out with explaining that all. So if you look at the picture there, you'll see that the water's been divided. So there's water, there's an open firmament, and then there's water below. Now, that's a fascinating thing to understand. Now, the second heaven, as we know today, tonight, when you look out at the stars, that space out there, that is the second heaven. Okay, that's the second heaven, where the stars are and where the sun and the moon are. Okay, that, as you can see in the picture, that is the second heaven out in the firmament. The first heaven we're going to read about tomorrow, and I might well just mention it right now. The first heaven is, you know, when you look outside and you see the blue sky and the birds flying, that's the first heaven. So now we know that there's one heaven, which is the birds, the space where the birds fly and the planes go and all that jazz. Then there's the second heaven, which is the universe, which we commonly know as space, where the sun and the moon and the stars are. And then thereafter, up in where the Shekinah glory of God rests, where the New Jerusalem is, that is the third heaven. And now, understanding that, now it's easy to read the Bible, but it's hard to believe the Bible. So if we look at the verses, we've now established the shape of the heaven and what took place, what God said. He said there, he wanted a firmament in the midst of the waters, and he wanted it to divide the waters from the waters. So we can see it there. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. Anyway, I see the time's fleeting away once again. So let's quickly look at the reading for today. If you've been with us for a while, you'll know we read out of the Pauline epistles each day. Today will be 2 Corinthians 5, 6, and 7. And reading through the Bible, we on Genesis 43, 44, and 45. It's been great to connect with you this Monday morning, week 39 of the year so far. We'll catch up again tomorrow. And please look forward to a full teaching on the deep coming shortly. Till we meet tomorrow, Maranatha.